Welcome to ETH Daily, a daily briefing on the latest in Ethereum. Here's your latest for Monday, October 20th, 2025. The Holešky testnet begins its sunset process. An AWS outage impacts RPC providers. Primev releases a fast RPC endpoint. And Vitalik outlines the GKR protocol. All this and more starts right now. The Holešky testnet has started its scheduled shutdown process. The testnet has been set to go offline 2 weeks after the Fusaka upgrade finalized on the testnet, which occurred on October 1st. Application and tooling developers are encouraged to migrate to the Sepolia testnet, while staking infrastructure providers are advised to transition to the Hudi testnet. Holešky was launched on September 28, 2023 as a proof-of-stake testnet intended to replace Goerli. At Genesis, it featured an active validator set of 1.46 million, designed for staking infrastructure testing. The network allowed open participation as public validators. Ethereum testnets typically have a lifespan of up to 5 years. Amazon's AWS US East region experienced a major outage early Monday morning due to a DNS resolution failure in the DynamoDB API endpoint. The outage disrupted numerous AWS services that depend on the region's endpoints, including DynamoDB Global Tables, IAM, and CloudFront CDN. RPC providers such as Infura were also impacted, causing users to experience delays or failures in sending transactions on Ethereum. Some Ethereum validators hosted on AWS also faced temporary disruptions. Notably, Ethereum mainnet has maintained 100% uptime over the past decade. Ethereum infrastructure provider Primev released a fast RPC endpoint enabling millisecond transaction pre-confirmations on Ethereum. Users can add the endpoint to their wallets for faster, more reliable transaction inclusion. In a demo, an ETH transfer was pre-confirmed in 377 milliseconds and included in the same block. The implementation leverages MEV Commit, a decentralized network of block builders that issue and honor transaction commitments before block inclusion. Pre-confirmations provide early transaction confirmation guarantees, improving user experience. dApps can also configure the fast RPC endpoint. And lastly, Vitalik Buterin published an article outlining the GKR protocol, a protocol which can power ultra-fast zero-knowledge proof generation used in ZK EVM and ZK-ML systems. The protocol achieves extreme efficiency by providing large structured computations like Poseidon hashing or neural network interface without committing to intermediate states. GKR makes real-time ZK proofs feasible, significantly lowering computational overhead while maintaining succinctness. In other news, Coinbase buys the Up-Only TV season NFT for $25 million. A former Geth lead developer shares his 2024 letter to the Ethereum Foundation, noting the compensation gap for core devs and Vitalik's influence over Ethereum's direction. And Nethermind releases client version 1.35.0 featuring a default 60 million gas limit. This has been a roundup of today's top news stories in Ethereum. You can support this podcast by subscribing and following us at ETH Daily. Also subscribe to our newsletter at ethdaily.io.